the actually I can statement is such a business owner thing. Like, it's scary, it's terrifying, but I can and I will and I am. And so can everyone else if they're willing to take the risk.
Hey there, welcome to hashtag Actually I Can. This is the podcast where us female entrepreneurs are going to ditch the hustle culture, build value-based aligned businesses, and finally charge what we're worth. I'm Katie Ripp, a serial entrepreneur, business mentor, rule breaker, and your go-to guide for building a profitable business on your own terms. Around here, we do things differently. No hustle for hustle's sake, no playing small, and definitely no more following antiquated business rules that, clearly were not made with midlife women in mind. Each week, I'm here to ask the hard questions, share the advice that's actually worked for me, and bring on a guest or two who decided to say, fuck it, actually I can do this my way. Expect bite-sized, high-impact episodes ranging from about 25 to 45 minutes, packed with real strategies, mindset shifts, and rule-breaking business insights. If you are tired of business feeling like an endless to-do list, and you're ready to make more money without burning out and feeling guilty, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's go. Hi, Kelly.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you. For our listeners, welcome back. Kelly is such a good friend of mine, and we have connected really through sort of entrepreneurship. I'm not sure that we would, maybe we would have crossed paths just because our last names are, in a small town, our last names would have crossed paths, and we've certainly grown up in the same areas and that kind of thing. But in any case, I think that this really connected us, and I have found so much joy in getting to know you, and it's been such a pleasure. So thank you for being on the podcast. Kelly has a really cool story about basically leaving a nursing job, which has nice little golden handcuffs, right? Lots of security, lots of safety. And then basically went and worked with side by side with her husband running an insurance agency. And she is actually also our insurance agent, which we'll get into a little bit about how you have helped us and how important good insurance and good insurance agents are. We will get into that. But first, I would love to tell or have you tell a little bit about your background, nursing, that kind of history, and then we'll just get right into how you left because it took a while.
It took a while. You helped me.
Well, I appreciate that. Nothing like, hey, Katie, what should I do? And I'm like, fuck that job. Bye.
It did take me a long time. So I went to school for nursing. That was my path. That's what I was always going to do. I loved it. I still love it. Went to the clinic right out of college and stayed at that same clinic. Part of the reason it was so hard is because I have friends there. I still have friends there. But yeah, loved nursing. I never had any bad feelings about nursing. Mike purchased the agency in 2017. He insures a lot of municipalities, fire departments, EMS. And when you do that, you need to be present at their board meetings, which are at night because a lot of these people are volunteers and they have other jobs. So we were starting to have schedule conflicts after having kids. So it would be like, well, I have to drive 3 hours away to this meeting, so you have to pick up the kids. And as a nurse, it's not like, oh, it's 4:30, I'm going to leave now. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's where this process started. It was kids. Kids change you. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And we talk about, I talk about this a lot with clients, but also on this podcast, that no matter what roles we're in or whether they're chosen for us or we choose them or they're prescribed to us or whatever, women just end up being mostly the caretakers. Even if you have the most amazing husbands, I talk about this all the time. I'm not here to bash your husband. I'm not here to try to make them out to be the villain. It just is how our society is built right now. I think we've made progress, but if we're working outside the home, we are also still the CEO of our families. So it ends up being two jobs. Whether you're working for somebody else, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a teacher, whether you're self-employed or whatever, it's not necessarily the short end of the stick. It's just the way it is. And so we're the ones that are leaving jobs to go get kids or to, if you can't get the kid, to set up somebody to get the kid, right? Like the planning and that kind of thing. So yes, a very common story, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. And even, and Mike is a very involved dad.
Yes, they're all lovely. I always say that, like, they're all lovely. I get it, right? Like, I have a lovely husband too. He's a very great dad. It just is the role we're in.
It just kept being the common stressor at the end of the day of like, oh gosh, okay, we're going to have a conflict again. Then Mike loves his clients. Mike loves insurance. I've never met someone that loves insurance so much. And I work in insurance, but he just is very passionate about it. He was growing his business very quickly, but he kept telling me, I'm not good at communicating with the staff. Like, he's like, I love being the owner. I love having my clients. I love helping people, but he's like, I am not good. He's like, he just kept coming home with these stories of problems he was having. And in my head, I was like, communication. I mean, I kept being like this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And we kept having these conversations, and eventually we just came to this, like, what if you came there? And it for 6 months was like a joke, like, ha ha ha. Yeah. Because I'm not going to leave nursing and we're not going to work together. That would be horrible. And then it slowly became not a joke. Like, oh, actually.
Yeah, I think that these things do start out as like sort of folly. Like, oh, what would that even look like? Or, I mean, it obviously comes into the conversation because it is actually a real thought of somebody's, but it always like is a softer landing if we're like, ha ha ha, funny.
Totally. Like, I even remember where in our old house, like where we were sitting when it first came up, because it was like, wait, like it's a joke, but wait, what does that look like?
I mean, you guys are in insurance, and you're also in health insurance. Like, Kelly helped us. One of the biggest questions we've always gotten as self-employed people is like, what are you going to do about fucking health insurance? And I mean, at one point or another, I'm a veteran, right? So if the government would have just, rather than a college degree, which I never actually took advantage of, if they would have given me lifelong health insurance, like, they could get so many more people into the military, right? Like, it's such a like jacked up system. But it was always like, whenever somebody would say that to us, because Dale and I have been self-employed for a long time. We've been in and out of jobs and that kind of thing, but also self-employed, just entrepreneurs for a long time. And when we were younger, it was the first question out of anybody's mouth is, what are you going to do about health insurance? And it's still the question, right? And so Kelly actually was the one that helped us with our health insurance when we both left our jobs. But was that a factor for you to stay in nursing? Or maybe not the health insurance, but like the benefits?
Yeah, for me, yes. For my husband, no. He's a bigger risk taker than I am.
For sure. Yeah. Because it's the difference between safety and security, and like risk adverse and pro risk. That's it.
Like, to have your own business is a huge risk. When he was telling me about this purchase he was going to make, I didn't even want to hear it, because I was like, that number is an unattainable number to pay back. I cannot imagine that. I just want to keep, I grew up on a dairy farm where you pay with things in cash, and you just, that's what you do to be in that much debt. Was like, and not saying that farmers don't have debt, but I just like the way I was raised.
It's way different. It's like a special, like, your money story is you pay for everything with cash, and debt is bad.
Yep, absolutely. And he went to business school. Like, I'm not saying you don't have to go to college to do insurance. You have to have common sense. You have to care about people. But he went to business school. So that type of risk, he learned about it. He's not as scared about it. I went to nursing school. So
to care for people.
To care for people, not to, like, I was smart with my money. We saved financial advisor. But the risk taking is something that I definitely need a little push.
Do you think that you've changed?
Yeah, I've changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I've changed a lot. I used to be the type of person, when we would come home, Mike would be so annoyed because he's like, come out and talk to the neighbors. And I was like, nah, let's go. I don't know.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm going to be in here reading or like cleaning or hanging out. Like, I don't need to. And when I moved to insurance, I don't know what changed, but I think I just love people. Like, and it's like, oh, no, I actually do like that connection. And if I see somebody out, I am going to go talk to them. That is not how I was 5, 10 years ago. And I was social, but social with the people that I already knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely changed, financially changed too. Like now that I'm in a business environment, you do develop and grow and learn.
Because there's no other choice.
There's no other choice. Yeah. If you want to make it, you have to keep growing.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable, but we keep growing. I mean, I have, like, from the sidelines, I've been able to watch you, like, blossom into this, like, badass founder of a business. As a woman, it is, and you're quite a bit younger than I am, and even younger than Mike. So, like, it's a refreshing place to watch. I will say that. It's just it's a very, because I saw you struggle too. Like, we've had conversations about you were down to 1 day a week, right?
Yeah. I slowly, I left nursing. Then I went back. Because I'm like, I cannot stop doing nursing. I'm going to go 2 days a week or 2 days a month is what I was down to. But those 2 days a month were fine, but they weren't. Those are 2 days a month that I'm away from the office. It's 2 days a month that I'm not focused on what I'm doing. And it just ended up being, what about time for yourself? Yeah. And I don't know if I even told you this. Now I am going to volunteer. I'm not done nursing yet.
I mean, I think that that's awesome, right? Like, now you have time to do it.
So now that we don't do health insurance and we're just property casualty and life, I'm going to volunteer at a free clinic in our neighborhood once a month. It's half of a day. It's going to be a lot more conducive to our lifestyle, but yeah, I still almost went back to nursing. I think once you're a nurse, you always going to have that pull to be in healthcare, but definitely a different way. I'm going to make it a different way that I can still put my all into my business, all into my family. And that's what us female entrepreneurs struggle with, because there's like 3 of us. There's 3 different kinds of us, and we always have to keep bringing them back together. It's constant.
Yeah. And I say this all the time, but I mean, I'm sure people get sick of me saying it, but if there is a line between personal and professional lives for female entrepreneurs, it's so blurred, it's hardly there. When we are not taking care of ourselves personally, it trickles into everything. Everything. One of the things I've heard from a number of nurses, and I've had a number of teachers on here as well, that have left the teaching or nursing profession and pursued self-employment, entrepreneurship, a partnership, whatever that looks like, working for themselves, is they struggle with the purpose of it. They struggle with the purpose. Like, I felt very purposeful when I was in nursing or when I was teaching. And now, like, quote, I'm using air quotes, like making money, or I don't feel like I'm of service when I'm in the profession I am in, even though you are providing a service, right? Like, even though I provide coffee for people, that doesn't sound like a lot. I'm still providing like a community. You're providing service of like insurance. And for us, like, we had a pretty catastrophic flood and a roof repair that turned into a flood, all of the things. Like, Kelly was here at 7:30 in the morning taking pictures while we were like standing in puddles of water. Now, it helps that you are literally right in our backyard right here, right? Like, you are local. This is why you have local people. But there's a different purpose to that than maybe nursing is just easy. Like, it just comes more easily. That purpose or teaching comes more easily, or it's more like accepted by society as a real purpose in life, right? Like, this is your purpose and you happen to get paid for it. How much of that contributed to having a hard time leaving?
Like I said, I feel sometimes when you're in healthcare, it becomes your identity, and you're like, you get this perception of other careers, not on purpose, but like, I can't sit around on my butt all day. And then you move to an office and I'm like, I'm busier than I ever was as a nurse. I'm so much busier. The purpose thing, I think you're exactly right. When a person thinks about a nurse, what they think about compassion, caring, there's a lot of stigmas with insurance. I mean, people don't go insurance agent. Compassion, caring. That was a hard
I
switch
mean,
for
I
me.
do now.
That's my mission. That is my mission.
I mean, mission accomplished. You can be done now.
We were talking about how much I've changed. I think I am, realizing human connection is what helps. When I was a nurse, I helped people by what can I do? What are they nervous about? How can I calm them down? It's the same thing in insurance. Insurance isn't like a conversation most people look forward to. It's something they need to check off their list. But if we can educate somebody and they actually understand what they're purchasing, I mean, coming to somebody in the middle of a bad claim and just like, I don't expect my client to know what to do in a claim. That's what I'm for. You can still have those same feelings of accomplishment helping in insurance, in whatever you're doing, in dropping my kid off for hockey. That's what I've learned. And I think that's why I've changed. I like to meet people. I learn from people. You and I met because we wanted to bring more business to our area. And I've learned so much from that. So I'm slowly, I'm not going to say there aren't days where I miss being a nurse and that's who I am, but I'm getting the same feeling. And now that my position has changed more to a managerial position, not so much with clients, I'm helping the staff grow. Like I am helping my people help more people. And you can have a larger impact than I even realized when I first came. Like when I first came, my mission was to help Mike. Like I want to help my family. I want to help him. Now I want to help staff and help everyone. So it's been a cool progression.
Well, and the beautiful thing about that is it's not an either or. It's an and. You get to help Mike and your family and help people like me, like help customers and help grow your team to a place where you are actually running a heart-led business. And I think that's part of where insurance or finance or I mean, there's lots of industries that don't have the perception of being heart-led, like nursing or teaching does, right? Like it's a very feminine place to be, right? Like that's a very, and not like female, but like feminine, masculine, matriarch, patriarch, that kind of thing. And you get to do that. Like it's such an opportunity. And even when you talk about it, you can feel your energy. Like, wow, I get to do this differently. I get to change the stigma around insurance by not only connecting with people on a level that's like caring and purposeful, and I have the knowledge, so I get to teach people from an educational standpoint, but also you get to now bring all of that and manage your people, like your teams, in a way that they have the confidence to go out and do that too. It can be different.
And that's the hardest thing about being a business owner, right? Is that you're going to meet all these people that are going to tell you, this is the way you have to do this. This is the way. You are not going to make it. I can't tell you the amount of people that have told Mike and I, you're not going to make it with your business model. You need more sales, less service. There's all these equations. And it's like, no, because I don't enjoy calling a big company.
I can.
Actually, I can, and we are. Like,
and watch me.
It's working. So I don't know when you think it's going to crash, but it's never crashed. It's only helped us. People don't want to call a 1-800 number and press a bunch of buttons. That's not our model. We want you to call. We want you to talk to the same person every time if you want. We want someone that knows the billing. We want somebody that knows claims. We don't want you to be a ticket in a system. And it's not failed so far. So I'm waiting.
Well, here's the thing about insurance is you have to have it, right? Like there's really no way around it. You have to have insurance. Well, my dad told me this once when we were young, and I think it came up around health insurance. He was like, listen, you don't have health insurance to pay for your health. You have health insurance to protect your assets. So if something horrible happens, they don't take your assets because you can't pay your health bill. like your medical bills. And that has always like ran around in my mind for a long time. And so when we pay for insurance, again, it's not necessarily that we got the roof paid for. I mean, it was nice that we got the roof paid for because our premiums paid for it. But at the same time, like it didn't take us under because like we had the protection. And so I think one of the things that is so refreshing about you guys is like literally, did I expect you to come over here and take pictures at 7:30? Now, I happen to have you on speed dial because you're a friend of mine, but I don't know that we would be as close if you weren't my insurance agent, right? Like I think we were already close, but like it solidified all of my trust and all of my confidence in your business. So now I will refer you to every single person I know because of the service. Now, does that mean that you're going to give the same service to every single person? I don't know that. I'm pretty sure you will, but I got it. And so you proved it to me. And so even if I'm paying more, which I don't think I don't even care if I am, I don't even know if I am. So it doesn't matter. I would pay you more forever for that kind of service.
This is the best part about using an independent agency. My favorite thing. That's a common perception people have. You don't pay anymore. So if you went with the company directly, you're going to pay the exact same premium. They pay us a percentage because they don't have to hire staff. They know that we're going to take better care of our local people. So it's the same exact price. And I tell people all the time, because some people are like, well, I'm just going to go online and do it myself. Why? I'm free. We are free. And we do this day in and day out. And they're like, well, I've read all the books. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's really awesome. However, when we work, we learn something new every single day. Why wouldn't you want someone that knows all the intricacies, all the coverages, all the ways you can save money? Why wouldn't you want that person on your side if it's not costing you anymore? Because your situation, owning a coffee shop, owning the building, is very different than somebody that rents a building. When you go do things yourself, you're not going to know what you don't know. That's my favorite part is we don't cost anything. We're just here to help.
Yeah. And that is a business model that will survive. I mean, we are so tired of the button pushing. Like, I want to talk to somebody. I know that makes me sound super old, and I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of people listening like, Jesus Christ, how old are you? I'm 46. So I still want to talk to somebody when it comes to my business stuff, right? Like, yes, if I'm going to make a reservation, I want to do it online. Yes, I don't want to talk to everybody all the time, right? There's reasons for that. But when I have a claim and I don't know what I'm doing, I need somebody that does know what they're doing. And I talk about this all the time with my female entrepreneur clients. Like, we need to outsource. I just had this conversation with somebody who is really behind on invoicing. Like, we need to be hiring bookkeepers. We didn't go to school to be a bookkeeper. We went to school to XYZ, but it wasn't bookkeeping. It wasn't insurance. Maybe we didn't go to school at all and we know a little bit about everything, but hiring people that know what they're doing and that's their job and that's their only job is so priceless. I don't know how to quite explain it. I mean, we had to navigate a little bit of it on our own. I feel like no matter who you hire, you have to navigate some things on your own. If I would have had to navigate any more than we did with this insurance claim, we'd still be waiting. Because I just would have gotten so overwhelmed by that kind of, it just would have taken up too much brain space that then I can't spend trying to make more money to pay the premium so somebody else can do it. I mean, it's a vicious circle when you get into an entrepreneurship, unfortunately has a bad rap of I have to do it all.
Well, and I think one of my bosses told me this one time, you are in this leadership position because you are different from the others. And it has always stuck with me because it's I can't expect the others to just naturally do what I do. That's why they have chosen not to be in this position. But with a claim situation, all of our companies we work with over 15 companies. They're all great. They're all unique, but there is short staffing going on right now. So I don't know how to say this. How do I want to say this? If one client calls in and has a problem, it's going to get handled. But if it's not getting handled, if the agency who has hundreds of clients with this company calls and is like, I don't like the way this is going, which one's going to get handled more quickly? That's another benefit of using an agency. And we usually have a different number that we get to call. So it's just helpful.
And I'm not like talking badly about any company we work with. We work with good, we choose them purposefully because we want good companies for our clients. But it just, sometimes you need a little escalation, like in your case. I did not like the speed, so we had to get involved, and I still would have liked it to go a little faster, but without an independent agency, some clients wouldn't even know what to say. You know, we know the policy, so it's like, where's the business interruption payment?
Yeah.
A lot of our clients, I mean, we educate them, but like you said, they're busy.
Yeah, like I don't have time sometimes to like, I mean, I just got a text from my son who's sick at home. He was like, hey, I don't feel good. You know, I mean, like, I don't have time to pay attention to that. I certainly don't have time to get on the phone for 3 hours, sit on hold, and then try to read through my policy that comes in a lovely binder from you guys. Like, it just gets shoved in a drawer because I trust that you're going to do the right thing for me. And if you are trying to say, or you think you're trying to save a buck, the amount of time that you are going to end up spending in the end, and time is money, right? Like, time is finite. Money is infinite. You can always make more money. You cannot make more time. And the lack of worry that I had about it is just priceless. It's like one of those MasterCard commercials, right? Like, roof leaks, you know, floods your ice cream shop, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, insurance agents standing in a puddle with you, priceless. I just like those things.
Our next commercial.
And I think it's just misunderstood. I think people think they're paying more to go through somebody that they know, or somebody that they like feels like a boutique or feels like an elective. Like, I should be paying for this kind of service. I think it's just an education thing. I don't know that people don't know that they're not paying more.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And I think some people, they're with an agent for so long. It's a trust thing, but it's like, but has the agent reviewed? Like, because my life right now is way different than 5 years ago. So have you updated your agent about that?
Yeah.
Which, as a busy person, you get those and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. But it's like 15 minute phone call.
Yeah.
Would be all it takes. And like you said, some people like electronic. We've got that too. Like,
yeah,
online surveys.
Got a pretty app and all the things.
Yeah, just it's like a little bit of everything. But like you said before, it does give you that purpose. You said we're just a coffee shop. Well, that coffee shop, when I have been up all night with a sick 5-year-old and I have a lot of meetings, can sure bring me joy to go get my caramel cream before my meeting. And it can be just what I need. And that's what I love about our office and about being a business owner, is that you can choose, like you said, you can choose, like, I want my staff to be just what my client needs when they call in. It's not fun to call in and pay your bill, but we can hopefully make you smile when you're done.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just want like that conversation to go well and that person to be like, wow, that wasn't bad.
Also, like, I mean, this isn't your responsibility, but like also shifting our mindset to like, okay, well, maybe it could be fun to pay your insurance bill because like I am paying Kelly and Mike, and then I get to see them go and give their kids a hockey experience that I love to watch on Facebook. Like, this is all cyclical, right? Like, it can be really lovely to pay bills to local people because you get to see how it's used, and you get to see that, I mean, in the end, it comes back and gets a caramel latte for you that comes into my pocket, and then it comes right back around. Like, I then end up spending that money in the same community. So there's, you know, when people, we have this, like, all these buzzwords about like buy local, shop local, that kind of thing. But like, I don't know that people always recognize what that's doing for the communities. And I mean, that's a whole nother, we could go into that on another podcast, but also the connection part of it, which I think has been for me too, it's because I don't have the formal education, I think. I am a bigger believer in, not even a bigger believer because I don't really have anything to compare it to, but for me, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I know that when I have connection to people, no matter what I'm doing, it is always going to pay in dividends. So I can learn all the things. I could learn all the things about, you can learn anything on YouTube and Google, right? Like I could figure out how to become an insurance agent. I could figure out how to navigate my own insurance policy. But having the connection, and you guys are just an example, but like having a connection to you two, like it was so easy when my brother was looking for health insurance to be like, here, this is the person that you need to go to, right? Like he was going through a divorce and he's like, I don't know where to go for this. And I was like, I got you, right? Like that was something that I could provide him that I felt really good about on so many levels.
And just let us take that time off your hands. Like, yes, you can. Anybody can learn insurance. You don't need a college degree to be an insurance agent. But if that's not something you want to do, why spend 3 hours researching different companies when I already know that?
Yeah.
Our staff already know, like, hey, this company has a discount for first responders. This company has a discount for nurses. Oh, you have that kind of dog? This company is going to give you better coverage because these 6 companies wouldn't cover that.
Well, which is gross, but you know.
I know. I'm a dog lover.
Yeah. I don't love that, but you know, it is what it is, whatever.
Mike and I argue all the time. I would really love a big fat Rottweiler at my house. And he's like, we can. I'm like, yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
we know all of, like, there would be no excuse. We can't do that. I'm like, I hate that.
I know.
They're changing. They're coming around very slowly.
I know, but not fast enough, right?
But that brings up a good point, though. Like, tell us these things.
Yeah.
Because if you do this online, you're not going to read the whole policy. You're not going to read the exclusions. We know where to put you. So yeah, why I would never, could I learn how to change the oil in my car? On YouTube, maybe it would be humorous, probably.
Yes, let's do that next.
But is it going to take me all day and I'm going to mess something up and I'm going to be frustrated and I'm going to take it to the local guy in Cross Plains anyway after I mess it up? Yep.
Yeah. I think as we get older, you know, like I've DIY'd myself right into where I am right now, right? Like I've done a lot of things on my own. I've also fucked up so many things along the way that I'm just not willing to spend that time anymore. I think that is wisdom, right? Experience plus knowledge equals wisdom. And I think I've just gotten to the point that I'm just not willing to do it anymore. I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. Sometimes I keep trying the things I'm not good at to think that I'm going to get better, but some things I'm just not really good at. And so it's easy for me to trade my money for time, right? Like I get to trade my money that I make for time back for somebody else to do it. But then the bonus reward of that is hiring locally like this, where I get to also watch my money at work. Like watch it bring joy to you when you go to Disney. Watch it bring joy to you when your kids go and, you know, skate for the first time and you're just like an example of that, right? Like there's lots of local people that I get to watch do that. And it's such an important piece of like when you have the opportunity to spend money that you're already spending on people that are local or people that you know, it just is such a bonus on the other end. It's like an intangible bonus that you don't know you're getting, but like brings you joy on the other end. I don't know. I think it's just such an interesting place to be. And that's so different than what we're told as entrepreneurs, right? Like staffing is horrible. Like payroll is your biggest expense. Like I find that to be one of my greatest joys. Like I get a front seat to these people's lives. I get to help them do the things that bring them joy in the end. And I also get to figure out what they're really good at and hire accordingly.
Like, well, and that's you're so good at that of, you know, there's nothing wrong with DIY if you like it. But I don't know why we feel maybe just because we're used to like just doing everything. I don't know why we feel like if you're miserable and you're not doing what you're good at and you could be passing that off, why?
Why? Yeah, why are we not? I mean, I have somebody doing my laundry. I say this all the time, like, Yolanda is my queen. I love Yolanda. I am not a domestic person. I have a messy car. I have a messy house, but I want a clean house. I want a clean environment. Environment is super important to me. I just don't want to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
And so I spend my time making money so then I can take that money, save time in the laundry room, and give somebody else a job. She loves to do laundry. I don't know why, but she loves it. And on the like flip side of that, I get to see her kids benefit from our stuff, right? Like she takes all of Madeline and Miles' old clothes. Like she's got kids younger than mine. So like I get to see that her kids get to use our clothes when we're done with them. So, and she also takes them out of my house. I mean, there's so many benefits to this, but for years, I just felt like an asshole because I couldn't keep up with the laundry. In the end, I just realized I hated doing it. So I was like, who cares if somebody else does this for me? Does my mom hate that I can't do laundry? Yes. I am a domestic failure in her mind. And that is fine, right? Like I just accepted that I'm not that person. I'm good at other things. I don't need to be good at laundry. So I'm just not. And so I just hired it out.
It's one of those things though that like it takes a long time to get there. And then once you do, it's so freeing. Like it's like, if I can make X amount of money in 3 hours and this only costs me X amount of money and I'm coming out ahead and I don't enjoy this, have somebody else do it that enjoys it. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And we're all coming out ahead.
Yes. And there's formulas out here too. And this has always been like a really sort of hard thing to grasp onto is really finding your dollar per hour. Like, what are you worth? Like, what kind of value are you bringing? So let's just use round numbers, for example. If I'm worth $100 an hour, anything less than $50 an hour, I should be hiring out. I mean, in theory, and in a perfect world, that's not always the case because obviously I don't get paid $100 an hour to drive my kids to the mall back and forth 14 times. But if it came to a point where I was making $500 an hour, would I hire a driver? Maybe. But then that means that like for anything less than $250 an hour, I should be hiring out. Time is finite. Money is infinite. You can always make more money. And that is like an abundance mindset. And that is, we're still working really hard to get there, right? I'm still working hard every single day to get there. But all of these things that you're doing, like really being a heart-led business owner, these are the rewards we end up getting that are so intangible, but they end up coming back in money, if that makes sense. Like they end up coming back monetarily. If you can, what you're giving out in energy, you're getting back in money.
Yep.
Before we end, I want to give us enough time to, what's it like working with your husband?
That's a very common question.
Because it was a fear.
It was a fear, yeah. And 10 years ago, I would have been like, no way in hell.
How long have you been married?
We got married in 2016. We've been together since 2012.
Okay. So you've been married almost 10 years, right?
Yeah. And so no way. No, and I love my husband, but I was like, I cannot not do the same thing all day long, night long. It's not what I imagined, good or bad. It's not.
Just different.
It's just different. First of all, he's a very busy guy. He's on the road a lot.
Yeah.
So even though we work together, I don't see him that much during the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really awesome. I mean, we're all super busy parents. It's hockey every night. It's like, hey, did you talk to your husband yet? I'm like, I haven't even seen my husband in 4 days.
Yeah, right. Much less, yeah.
You've talked to him yesterday. What did he say?
Yeah.
So in that aspect, sometimes it's nice. Like when our life is very busy, maybe I pop into his office for 10 minutes and we're able to be like, hey, what about that party? That's cool.
Yeah.
We are very different people.
Yeah.
He's the risk taker. I'm conservative. He is, how are we going to grow? And I'm like, how are we going to grow while keeping the same service?
Uh-huh.
we balance each other out. I think it's nice. That can cause conflict sometimes because we're both very passionate. Like when I have a vision, I am very passionate. When he has a vision, he's very passionate. And they don't always line up at the right time.
Yeah.
But I think we manage it well. The hardest thing is not bringing it home. I can't tell you how many times we'll be at home talking about the office and someone will have to be like, no, stop. Or, what is hard is like, you said you were going to do this and you didn't do this. That's affecting my job. That gets hard because that happens already at home, right? But I think we manage it well. I'm not going to say there aren't days.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like it would just be, I was having this conversation with myself the other day. Like, would it just be easier to go back to working for somebody else? I think that comes up in my mind more often than I'd like it to. Like, would it just be easier to go to work for somebody else, get a nice, secure, safe paycheck, and just come home and do whatever I want, like turn it off, because my brain never turns off. Dale's never turns off, right? Like we are just work. And sometimes I beat myself up about that. And then other times I find myself talking to clients where I'm like, is it bad? Who tells us it's bad? Who tells us that we need work-life balance? Like who tells us that we're wrong because we love our jobs? Like who tells us that it's not okay to talk about it over the dinner table? Who tells, like, where are we learning this and where are we following these unwritten rules? But I'm the same. I think that's human nature. We also are like we're bombarded by shit everywhere about like, this is the way you should be doing it. And if you're not doing it, you're wrong. So really trying to navigate your own path is hard.
Mike and I just talked about this. I mean, like all jokes aside, I do love working with him because we help each other. We understand the stresses. Like when I was a nurse and I would be like, I'm so stressed this happened today. He has no clue what I'm talking about. Now he does. And we both care passionately about the same thing. But the other night, and I've gotten a lot better about work-life balance. He has too. But many nights, I mean, it's the same thing for every business owner. You're so lucky you do this, whatever. And it's like what you don't see is that night that I was up till 1 a.m. trying to fix all of the things. When we switched computer systems, I think I worked till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for 3 weeks straight. That's tiring. And I thought about that. I'm like, are my kids being negatively affected because I'm a business owner? Because that's the last thing I want. And then I'm like, no, they are watching hard work. They are learning determination, hard work, grit. There's a lot of things that they can learn. And we are there. I am there for hockey. And that's not something I could have done as a nurse. I could have been to a 4 p.m. hockey practice. But I do struggle with that too. I think every business owner probably does. Like, I just want to go worry about myself because we have to worry about, there's 12 of us at the office. That's can be pressure.
It's a ton of responsibility. Yeah. Right. Like, and I think it's sort of like when you have babies, like sometimes you forget like, oh shit, I grew a human. Like I just like there wasn't a human here and now there is another human and I'm responsible for them. But I think Mother Nature doesn't like let us understand the gravity of that. I think it's the same with employees. Like I don't understand the gravity sometimes of every time I press enter for a payroll, that is going into somebody else's pocket that needs it for food and shelter and to raise their children right and to provide a life that is full of joy and full of opportunities and experiences. Like, I think I forget that very often because it's a very tangible, like paycheck. It's just like a button on my computer. But I think it's hard to realize like, wow, I have 50 employees between everything. And some of them, these are their first part-time jobs as 14 years old in the ice cream shop. But then also like I've got a general manager that this is her career. This is her salary. This is how she's going to raise her family eventually. This is how she's paying for her wedding. These are the things that I think it's almost hard to grasp. And then when it does hit you, it's like, oh, fuck, am I doing the right thing? Like, Am I responsible enough to be doing this? Am I mature enough? Like this seems very adult of me, and I'm not really sure that seems right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they spend so much of their life at their office. I want them to enjoy it. I tell my staff all the time, like, I want all of you to genuinely like it here, or I don't want to lose anybody, but if you don't like it, you don't belong here. Don't stay here. I want you to enjoy life. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to give the experience that I want you to give to our clients.
Well, and everybody knows somebody that doesn't like their job, and you can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's real quick, and it's real, like, if somebody doesn't like their job and I can tell, it makes me wonder about either what's going on at the office or why are you stuck? Like, why do you feel stuck? It always makes me wonder. Maybe not everybody wonders that, but I always feel like it's really important to me to make sure that everybody that works here likes it.
Yep.
And if you don't, everybody can feel it. And then it's just, again, that's like another vicious circle of, on the other end of like, this shit ripples out. You can tell when somebody that doesn't like their job serves somebody that doesn't get the service that they should. It's just an ugly cycle that way too. So yeah, I mean, we are very much in agreement. It's just a different way to run business. Mm-hmm. Like you're doing it differently. You're doing it differently even than Mike did it.
Yeah. The way Mike would run the business is not wrong. It's different than what I do. And we've just learned I'm a better manager. He's better at working with the companies.
Yeah.
Selling, negotiating with the companies.
We
both have our strengths. And that's what's fun about working with him is that I can truly appreciate his strengths now because I understand them. And he appreciates mine. So it isn't a lot of people like they're not open to that ever being a positive experience.
Oh, for sure.
But it is. It can be. It
is what you make it. Like you get to choose how it's run. And if it's, and to know, like, no offense to Mike, but he probably just ran it like he expected it to be run. Like it's always run this way. Insurance companies have always done it this way. So this is how we're doing it. And you are very much an operator. And he is very much in like working in the business while you're working on the business. Not everybody gets both of those in one family.
Yeah.
That part is really cool.
Mike's a big picture guy. He like knows where he wants to be in 5 years. He knows where he wants to be in 10 years. He knows what he wants everyone to do. I'm the one that knows, how are we going to get everybody to do that? How are we going to get there? What are the steps? What's everyone else doing? So we do complement each other, which is really fun.
I need a Kelly Endres. I'm like the vision person. I need somebody like, this is how we're going to get there. That's what I need. I need a Kelly. I say that all the time. I'm like, I need a wife.
More coffee chats.
Yeah, more coffee chats. Hey friend, just a quick interruption to tell you about something that's going to finally get that email list working for you. If you've got a pile of email addresses collecting dust or a newsletter you keep meaning to start, join me for the Art of Hello. This is a 3-hour hands-on virtual workshop where we'll set up your email account, organize your list, and write a beautiful 3-part welcome series together, live. It's only $124, or if you're a member of the Actually We Can Collective, it's totally free. Head on over to katieripp.com and grab your spot now. Your future self and your inbox will thank you. I just want to talk a little bit about what does your schedule look like? If you were working at a clinic, you had a very 8 to 4 job, right? I mean, 8 to 4, but you were there until 5:30 or 6 or, whatever you had to do when you were there. And you definitely have, quote unquote banker's hours because that's, your business hours for an insurance company. I talk to a lot of female entrepreneurs that have a really hard time getting out of, I have to be in the office at 8 and I have to leave at 4:30 and then I turn it off when I get home. Have you given yourself a little bit of flexibility in your schedule? Was it hard for you? What does that look like now versus when you first started in the office? That kind of thing.
I have done substantially better this year. Thanks to people like you, Katie. This is why business coaches are so important because I grew up watching my dad. He worked every day 24/7. There's no breaks there. Then you go into nursing and it's very much the same aspect. You work, hard, hard, hard. Then you go into insurance, and I like to lead by example. So I like to know what my employees are doing, the workflows, and I want to work more hours than them. That's just,
You're a worker.
Yeah, that's what I do. However, I am learning slowly why it took me so long to leave those 2 days is the reason we made the switch was to make our family life and business life better. So I'm like, working till 1 a.m., is that making my family life better? No. What I truly love is every time hockey practice on Monday and Tuesdays are at 4:30 in Sauk, 20 minutes away from Cross Plains. If I was a nurse, no way would I be able to do that. Would I have found somebody to get my kids there? Yes. I'm not saying my kids wouldn't be in hockey, but I enjoy being the one to take them there. So it took me a long time to let go of I have to work harder than everybody at the office. It's okay if I leave at 3:30 because I need to get my kid to hockey. And you know what? I want my employees to take their kids to their sporting too. And I need to lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to lead by example. Family is important, but it's a vicious circle. 2 months from now, you'll text me and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I was working. I'm still working right now. I forgot to do payroll.
Yeah, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress, right? Like that we're a little bit better. And it doesn't make you wrong that your work ethic is like your character is tied up in your work ethic. That's just who we are as workers, as people. We're different than other people. Some people can turn it off and on really quickly. I'm here for work and I leave and I never talk about it or think about it again. That's not who I am. It's not who you are. And we were raised and we have stories around that and we have limiting beliefs around that. And I remember, and maybe this is something that you've heard me say before, is I was in a therapy session one time about this particular thing. And I said, I feel like I have to work all the time. I have to be there. You know, at the time we had 3 businesses open from 5:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night. And I felt like I had to be in person at those places all the time. My face needed to be seen. I needed to be there. I needed to be leading by example. I needed to be working the hardest. I needed to be putting in the most hours. Eventually that burned the fuck out of me. But I remember saying to her, like, I don't think that makes me a bad person. And she said, in a leadership role, it sort of does. She said, basically, you're showing your employees that they can never take a break, that they can never take time off for family, that they have to skip weddings to be there, even though you have staff for that. It also tells them that you don't trust them. And it opened up my eyes so wide because what was happening is I was feeling so guilty. I was feeling guilty like I was a lazy piece of shit if I was at my kid's recital because somebody else was working. And my therapist was like, you pay them. Like, they're not working for free. You're paying them. Like, you're paying them competitively. You're also like giving them bonuses and giving them things that they really enjoy. Like, at what point are we going to look at this and be like, there's no reason to feel guilty? It took me, obviously, therapy, but also it took me a long time to figure out that my schedule could look different. Because I've always been on the school schedule, or, you know, I worked in the schools for a long time, or I worked, 10 to 4 and those were my hours. So it was really hard for me to anything after 4 o'clock. If I wanted to take a break in the middle of the day, it was like, no, I need to be working. Except I wasn't actually being productive. I was just like working. And that part really has taken me a long time. But now that I see it, I can see it in other people too. And I'm like, you're not giving the people that need it the behavior that you want them to have, because they're never going to be able to take off to take their kids to hockey because you don't do it.
Right. And if you're burning the candles on both ends and grumpy and not approachable, you're not helping anybody. And I'm not going to say that sometimes we don't take our kids to hockey and then log back in after we get home, but the flexibility portion is the key. Like, yeah. I can do this and I can also finish my work.
Yep.
hiring the right people. Like I will hire a kind, compassionate, willing to learn person over somebody with 10 years of insurance experience any day.
Yeah.
Because you're right. My staff wants us to go do these things also because they are caring people. We're very intentional about who we hire.
Well, and you chose to be in the position where the flexibility and the freedom is part of why you sacrificed, why you took the risk, why you took the financial risk, why you took the time risk, why you took all of that. Not everybody does that. So some of the reward of that is total flexibility. And my schedule is very different. Like I am an early riser. I get up and log onto my computer and get so much done at 5:30 in the morning until 7. That's just who I am. I also take a nap from 12 to 3, or I go to the gym from 12 to 3, or I watch Netflix or I work, but I'm very aware now of my work schedule and when I'm the most productive and efficient versus what the clock says. So if you want to leave from 2 to 3 to have the lunch with somebody and log back on at 7, cool. Like 8 hours means nothing to an entrepreneur anymore. I don't know where 8 hours or the 40-hour week or whatever, where that came in, but if you get your shit done, just get your shit done. Like, just get it done. If it needs to be done, like, I don't care how long it takes you. I had a boss tell me one time, Dale always says, like, I went in for a demotion. I basically like walked in and was like, I think you're paying me too much. And he was like, you're asking for a demotion, right? Yes. I was like, I think you're paying me too much for what I'm doing. And he was like, listen, he's like one of my favorite people on earth. He was like, listen, we hired you, 10 years ago or 7 years ago, I think it was at the time, for a job that you have now learned over 7 years. He said, I'm not going to punish you for being efficient and being better at your job. I don't care how much time it takes you. We're paying you for what you're doing, not how much time it takes you. And I was like, it was the best thing anybody could have ever said to me going into entrepreneurship, because time just doesn't make any sense to get paid by, unless you're in there's reasons to get paid by the hour. But as an entrepreneur, it's very hard to quantify how much time something takes you.
And see, that's where it can get so hard with guilt, right? Because we have to be open 8 to 5. Our clients expect us to be open from 8 to 5. So it's still, there are days where I'm like, oh, I'm leaving at 3:15 again. But then I need to remember, and I let one of our employees take her lunch break from 2 to 3 so that she can go pick up her kids. We make it work as a team, which is so awesome. Like, yes, we have to staff it from 8 to 5 because that's when clients expect us to be open. But we can all work together to make sure there's coverage from 8 to 5.
Well, and that doesn't mean you have to be there from 8 to 5.
Yeah. And that's something I'm still.
Yeah. That is progress, not perfection, right? Like, just be, and that guilty feeling after a while, it takes a long time for that, especially if your work ethic is tied into your character. It takes a long time for that sort of feeling. And when time is connected to your value and your worth, I mean, we could go into a lot of this part of it, but there is still a clock that runs, and the society still runs by a clock. So it's just it's a work in progress of how can we make this work for us instead of against us all the time. And we feel bad.
Like, I think too, it goes hand in hand. You've probably experienced this, the must be nice comment.
Oh.
I'm getting.
I want to write a book that's called Must Be Nice. Honestly,
yes,
I just
please write a book called Must Be Nice. That would be my favorite book. I think I'm getting a lot better, but the must be nice comment is not something that I needed to hear in healthcare. In healthcare, that's not a thing. Must be nice.
It's not a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing for healthcare. That is, sometimes I think you hear that for teachers, right? Like, well, it must be nice to have your summers off.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a teacher though.
Yeah, right. Like, no. Let's. I mean, I worked in the schools, but I have certainly heard like, oh, it must be nice to have every holiday off or whatever. Like, yeah, except I also have to deal with parents like you saying shit like that, right? So like,
It took me a long time. Like, I am a pretty positive person and I really like everybody. Like, there's not people I dislike really, but when someone would say must be nice, there was like 2 years where I'd be downstairs at 1 a.m. doing my payroll, but must be that, must be that. Like, just still like listening to that. Like, wish you were here now. I bet you're peacefully sleeping in your bed, not worrying about 11 other people and getting them paid or making their life. Like, it took me a long time. Now when I hear that, I try to be like, it is nice. And I made it nice.
Yeah.
My husband and I took risk and we made it nice. And we're making it as nice as possible for 11 other people too. And I try when I hear that to just smile and take it with grace and not let myself get so upset. But it takes a lot of work.
I know. I don't actually hear that as much anymore. I used to a lot, or I would make it up in my head that people were thinking that, right?
That's
like
true.
Not only that people were saying it out loud, but they were thinking it. Like, I used to not post vacation pictures. I used to not post, like, if we got something new, I'd be like, well, this is the coffee shop money and people are spending and they're like, oh my God, it must be nice to be able to go to fucking Hawaii or whatever. But like, it took me a really long time too, and I still am not quite there. But if somebody says it must be nice to me now, it's pretty easy for me to be like, yeah, it is actually really nice because I have worked my fucking ass off for this.
Right.
And I mean, I don't think that I hear it so much anymore because I think people have recognized that we've put a lot of work into our community, and I think you'll probably stop hearing it too. And maybe you're not even hearing it anymore, but you're still like hearing it, like residual hearing. I mean, I still definitely, I have guilt when we're like flying somewhere and I'm like, God, somebody else is working, or I get a text that like, hey, we need coverage and I'm not available to go in and cover. Like, that's really hard for me, but I had to put some like pretty heavy boundaries up around that. Cause otherwise I was in here all the time and I hated it. Like, I don't want to make lattes anymore. I make a good latte. I don't want to. Like, sometimes, like, I'll go out, after this, I'll probably go out and get a cup of coffee and they'll probably be busy and I'll hop in the computer or whatever. But I am such a stickler now for my schedule and I love the freedom of it. I don't want I will if I have to, but I had to put some pretty hard boundaries around that part of it.
Yeah.
It's taken me a really long time to get here.
I think you're right too. When somebody would say that and I would get offended, how many times are people saying that to me? Or am I just thinking about it still?
Yeah.
But yeah. And
yeah, that isn't to like call you under the bus like, Kelly, you're just actually making this up. I don't mean it like that. I mean it like...
I know. People say it. There are people.
Oh.
But also I think when you change your mindset, people know that. Not that anybody was saying that to hurt me. They weren't.
No, it was just and I think it does sometimes it comes from a place of envy. Mm-hmm. And so it's very like your life does look freeing and somebody else is punching a clock and doesn't like it. And so of course the grass is greener on the other side, but they're also not up until 1 a.m. worrying about where they're going to find payroll money.
Yeah. I think my husband is the one that helped coach me through this they chose that job.
Yeah.
I chose insurance. I don't want to work outside when it's -5 outside. I don't want to. I chose insurance. They can. I've heard him say it multiple times. Hey, there's always room in insurance. Come on over. And that usually shuts them up pretty fast.
Well, no shit. I mean, there is like something to be said about that particular response. Like, by all means, you can come and do it. Like, I'm not special. I'm not special. I just like took the risk.
Yep.
I don't have a college degree. I don't have some like magical thing that somebody else doesn't have. I just decided to take the leap of whatever I'm doing. And that's different. And so if it must be nice, yes, it is. This is what I chose and I love it.
It's like, I love your podcast. I was so honored that I was invited here because the actually I can statement is such a business owner thing. Like, it's scary. It's terrifying, but I can. Actually, I can and I will and I am. And that's awesome. And so can everyone else if they're willing to take the risk.
And I think when I first came up with like, actually I can, it was sort of a fuck you to the world. I mean, honestly, like when Dale, there's my little sign behind here is Dale made this for me a few years ago, actually around the pandemic part, because what was happening was I got to a point where people were like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, fuck you. Actually, I can. Watch me. And it's changed over the years. And now I'm sort of in a different mindset. Like, actually, I can do this for myself. I can do this because I want to. I can do this because I trust myself. I can do this because I'm capable. I can do it because I'm resourceful. I can do it. I just can. And I think that there's so many people out there, so many women, especially in the self-employed industry, that like, we're not special. We just decided that we could, and we just didn't give ourselves an out. I mean, there's no out for me. I don't have something to fall back on anymore. I mean, we have sort of like you too. Like, we've got our eggs in lots of little baskets, right? Like, we don't have every single thing in one thing. We've got lots of little things out there. And we've learned over the years to diversify and do those things. But for me personally, also, actually, I can fail. I can fail and realize, geez, I'm not really great at this. I'm going to do it a different way because I learned. And they're just lessons. So that sort of thing, like, hey, I'm not really good at this, but I can do it a different way. And actually, I can do this differently. I should have probably put differently at the end of can, right? But like, I can do this differently. I don't have to follow, period.
Yeah, it's kind of fun though, because I'm the same way as you. Like, someone telling me you can't do this, there's nothing that is going to make me work harder, find a way to do it if I feel passionately about it. But it used to, when I think back, it's like, it used to be that hurt and I'm going to prove you wrong out of spite because I'm not going to let whatever. Now it's like confidence. I can do it, and I want to show you because I'm doing good things.
Yeah.
Which is a cool progression. And I'm not saying that there's still sometimes when someone says I can't. And I'll never forget when I first went into health, and we sold the health insurance business now, but an older gentleman, I like him a lot, but he's like, by yourself, I don't know what you're doing. And about 6 months later, the company would always send out the sales charts, and seeing my name above his name was like so gratifying. Like, thought I couldn't do it. It's like, but now it's more exciting. And when you surround yourself around positive people, coaches, mentors, it's more like, it's just a good feeling for yourself, not somebody else.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the confident, right? Like, actually, I can do this. And also, what else can I do? Because now I've just proven this to possibly somebody else. Like, fuck you, watch me, I can do this. And I've proven that part. But when you start shifting your mindset, and I think it is just like a natural, organic progression into a confident mindset, a confidence mindset, like you said, a really like a place of like, I trust myself. What else can I try? What else can I do? What else is out there that I can try? And if it doesn't work, it's okay, because what else can I do? I do think that there's something to be said about, and I think if we talk to, it's actually probably a really good question going forward for me on this podcast of, geez, what was the next, like after you did this one thing, what's the next thing? Like now you're volunteering. You probably were like, well, I can't actually spend an hour or two or whatever a month not making money volunteering or whatever. Like I can't go to Walt Disney World 4 times a year. Actually, can you? Like, could you bring that much joy to yourself and to your kids? I always tell people to like the abundance mindset, like I think that's where this comes in, that abundance mindset. Like there's enough for everybody. There's enough money. There's enough time. There's just enough for everybody. We are enough, all of the enoughness in life. But also when we are doing good things in the world, like you're doing, like I like to think I'm doing, when we are doing those things, we can make more money and feel good about it because we're doing good things with it. It's just a tool. And so like the money part of it too is like, it's okay to bring your kids joy or bring yourself joy by going on vacation or buying something that you've really wanted for a long time, because that joy then ripples out. It's our responsibility as whole and capable and resourceful and creative women to make money so we can go out and do good things in the world.
Yep. You know, because we're friends, my Disney obsession.
Yes.
There's a lot of negativity. Like, you either love Disney or you hate Disney.
I love that you love Disney. I don't love Disney, but I love that you love it.
Mike doesn't love Disney and does not love that I love Disney. So I love that you love that I love Disney.
I love that you love it. I do. I know other people that love Disney. I don't love it, but I love that you love it.
I love it so much. And I finally, last year, like, Mike doesn't. So why does he need to go? Yeah. I took the kids by myself, and people were like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And it's like, no, why? Why?
Because actually I can take them by myself.
And it was a blast. Like, if you let yourself be too scared off by other people's opinions on a life that is not theirs and that is different and has different values, then you're not going to be able to live yours to the fullest. We went. Could it have gone bad? Could have someone got sick? Yes, but we went. We had so much fun, and I was able to come back and work, and my cup was full. It's just letting go of other people's perceptions of you is hard when you're more in the spotlight. I'm not saying I'm in the spotlight, but as an owner, yeah, that's something you're like,
you are.
People are looking at you. People are judging you, and you get to a point where you just can't care, and that's freeing. Like, you can care, and finally, I'm not going to say I don't fully care.
Of course.
I want to be a good person. I want people to think good of me. But if I'm doing my best and you don't like it, that's not my choice. I can't worry about changing your mind that I took my kids to Disney World if you don't like that and you don't want to be my client. And that's more an internal fear. Has one person said, you went to Disney World and took your kids to Disney World, I don't want to be a client? No. So
no, of course not. And we don't want those people as clients.
Right, exactly.
Like we don't want those people. I don't want somebody to come and be like, well, I want to work with you, but I don't want to work with you because Kelly Endres took her kids by herself to Walt Disney. I'd be like, I can't work with you. We're not friends. Like, we can't work together. And that's like an abundance mindset of like, there are 8 billion people in the world.
Right.
How many do we need? We want the right ones. We don't want the ones that don't respect our choices. And if they don't respect our choices, that is okay. You don't have to like it. I'm still being a good person. Just because somebody is like, I don't understand why you have alpacas. I don't care if you don't understand it. Like, they're strictly there for my joy, period. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, my parents were like, what the fuck? You're bringing in more animals? Like, we've got 3 dogs and we've got, 10 cats and 3 goats and 4 alpacas, right? Like, do you need more to take care of? And I'm like, hey, listen, I don't care. I understand. I appreciate that you're trying to protect me. I love them.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's all that matters.
It's all that matters.
It's not hurting anyone. It's just bringing you joy. And I think if I had one piece of advice for any business owner, new entrepreneur, it would be to surround yourself by people that have gone through it or are going through it and are positive, uplifting people. That's been the best. Meeting other people in the community that have embraced all of these things makes it easier. You're not by yourself. And if you are by yourself, find a way to not be.
Yeah.
Go meet people, make connections. It's the best thing that we've done.
Yeah, it can be very isolating. There's no doubt, because lots of people just don't get it. It's just it's a different place to be. There's different stressors. There's different, it doesn't mean that there's no stress or more stress or less stress than anybody else. It's just different stress. And same, like I stopped looking for advice from people that I have no interest living their life anymore. I don't want your opinion because I don't like your life. It's not that I don't respect your life. I just don't want to live your life. So I don't need advice from you. I got it. I can find advice from people that I really do want to emulate their life, and looking up to people, but also helping people that are just a little bit behind you, and not behind, but like walking alongside you. I think that there's so much value in that. And it's really what gets me up in the morning anymore. It's just like, who can I connect with today? Like, what can they bring me, or what can I bring them? I like, it's a lovely, lovely place to be. Does it come with lots of baggage? Sure. But we get to do this.
Yeah.
Like, we get to do this for an hour and 20 minutes.
This is going to be the best part of my whole day.
That is quite a compliment since it's Friday.
It's Friday and I have a good day today. It's filled with a lot of meetings that I'm really excited for, but I really love this podcast and your vision, and I'm so proud of you too.
Oh, thank you.
Journey is very hard, and it's been much easier having you as my friend. And it's just, you have to surround yourself by good people.
Yeah. I think that there's so much. And I mean, we started this conversation about connection, and that it's a perfect place to close. So thank you so much for coming on. I loved every second. Well, that is a wrap on today's episode, but the conversation doesn't have to end here. If this episode resonated with you at all, come hang out with us inside Actually We Can. This is my private community for midlife women entrepreneurs who are just done with the hustle and ready to build businesses that actually work for them. Inside, you'll find support and strategy and a whole lot of real talk from women who get it. You can join us at katieripp.com/community. We can also stay connected on socials. You can follow me on Instagram at KatieRipp for behind the scenes, extra insights, and plenty of business wisdom. But most importantly, make sure you follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. If you loved today's topic, please leave me a review and share it with another badass woman who needs to hear this. As always, thank you for being here. Now go do your thing, and I'll see you next time.